Okay, here we go. Welcome to the Dream Extreme weekly team call. I am Jill Flores. I am a diamond coach, and Christine Sullins is my coach. I have been with Beachbody for 6 years, just this past February, so I've been around for a while. And I have dealt with fear throughout in different stages. So I'm going to share with you some different things that I have overcome and how I think that we can all work through fear in different ways. We all have fear, and it's just a natural part of life. We just need to figure out how to deal with it when it takes hold of us. And I think that our personalities have a lot to do with our fear and how we maybe hang on to fear. You can see the different gems here, which represent different personality types. I am a pearl, and you haven't heard from very many pearls in the leadership role. And so I'm excited to share with you a little bit about my personality, and if you're a pearl, your personality, and how this really relates to your fears. As pearls, we are people pleasers and people who care what other people think. We don't want to disappoint people. We may lack confidence when it comes to thinking that people really want to hear what we have to say. And I know that I have sort of allowed that to be an excuse, knowing that this is my personality, so this is just the way that I am. And so I really think that it has probably held me back from my potential. And maybe I have just kind of hidden behind my personality as an excuse to not do things. And I've hidden behind that for some time. So I have definitely figured out how to get over that. And it's not like you're going to change your personality, because you want to be you. You're not going to change that part of yourself. But you're going to, I think that not only our personality, but fear comes from a lack of confidence. So if you're able to build your confidence in whatever it is that you're working on, if it's your business, if you're, when you really believe deep down in what we're doing in this business, it shines through. But if you are kind of faulty in your belief, is this going to work for me? Things like that, it shows, and you don't have the confidence to overcome the fear to do what you need to do to move forward. So think about what your gem is, first of all, and then think about what your fears are, maybe in relation to your gem. If you're a ruby and you are a take charge type of person, you might fear that you're not going fast enough or living up to the expectations of your coach. Or if you're an emerald and you want facts and figures and you are super organized, you might fear that you're not organized enough, or that you're missing something because you're focusing on being organized, and you fear that you're not able to see the whole picture maybe. So each gem, you just think differently. So your fears are going to be different. One thing that really helps me get out of my own head and get to business and overcome a fear and pumps me up is music. So like, seriously, find a theme song for yourself. Last summer I had a theme song, and it was Britney Spears' Work song. And if you know the song, it really it motivates you. Whatever kind of music motivates you, or the lyrics that motivate you, if you know you have to go do something that's scary, play the song before you go in and do it. Like before this call, I was listening to my Pump Me Up playlist. That's what it's called. It's my Pump Me Up playlist because it just fills you up with positive vibes, and it makes you feel not invincible, but kind of. And so you need to fill yourself up with positivity before you're doing something that scares you to death. If you would have asked me 6 years ago if I would be leading a call for Dream Extreme, I would say no way. I am not talking to however many of you are on this call or are going to listen to the recording. Not me. But in time, your confidence grows in the things that you're afraid of. And you will see the same thing. The longer you do something, the more confident you think you are at it, and you'll just go for it. And the fear will take its seat. The next thing that you can do is find a podcast or a mentor that builds your confidence. So use this kind of personal development to grow your confidence, because when your confidence is higher, your fear will be less. My favorite is Chalene Johnson. So she has her course, The Courageous Confidence Club, her free podcasts, Build Your Tribe and The Chalene Show, and the Smart Success Academy. I also just put photos of a couple of books that are also really great for punching fear in the face, which is one of my favorite sayings. And You Are a Badass is an awesome book that really just helps you find yourself and find your voice. And it gives you some guts to just get out there and do it. Chalene has really changed how I think about myself. And I used to feel like I didn't deserve things. Like, I'm just like everybody else. Why should I be any different? Why should I build a business and be able to quit my job? I just didn't think that I deserved it. I thought that, going to my job that I was tired of every day was just the way it was supposed to be, and that's what it was. And until I went to Smart Success, well, actually, that's the next slide. So I started out with Chalene, just being a Turbo Kick lover and loving her, listening to the Chalene Show. I did her 30 Push program, and I got her Courageous Confidence Club program, and those things helped. But then I went to Smart Success, and that was scary for me. I spent money and bought the program, and I went through all the modules by myself at home. And then it was time where she says, okay, now you guys, you have to put this all in action, and you need to come to LA to the live event. And I was really nervous because, of course, it was an expense, and I was going to go by myself, and I'd never traveled across the country by myself before. So those were things that I was afraid to do. But then I thought, well, if I don't do something that scares me and go for it, I'm still going to be sitting in the same spot next year and the next year. And I'm just going to regret that. So I went, and she literally changed my whole outlook on everything. I mean, she just fills you with this confidence that you can't even imagine. She shares her story, which was similar to mine, and she really made me believe that I could be a business owner and I could have this thing that is my own, and it could be my career. And so because of that event, she made me make the decision that I was going to leave my job and do Beachbody full time. And I went home from that event, and I decided on a date, and I told my boss, and I did it. And you know what? Before I went to work that day, when I told my boss, I was playing my theme song in the car on the way there. I was listening to Chalene, and it just helped. It was almost like she was standing next to me saying, you can do this. You're not here by yourself. Just go do it. What's the worst thing that could happen? And that is one of the main things that I took away from Smart Success, is she's going to say to you, look at the thing that you're afraid of. What is the worst thing that could possibly happen. It's not going to be that bad no matter what it is. Nobody's going to die. I mean, you are going to be okay. And everybody around you is going to be okay too. So just take a big breath and go for it. Getting out of your comfort zone and the little bubble that we all live in, going to a live event really can change everything. It will change your belief in yourself. It'll change your belief in what you're doing. So whether that is seeing Chalene at Smart Success or Danny Johnson at First Steps to Success, which is also another amazing weekend, or going to Summit. If you haven't been to Summit yet, you need to be there to see the big picture of what Beachbody is and what an amazing thing we are a part of. And then your belief just grows, and part of that fear naturally just leaves you. The next thing you need to do is stop listening to that little voice inside your head. The one that says, what are they going to think if I post this? Or why would they want to hear what I have to say? I'm not qualified to talk about this. Or I don't deserve to do this. Or I'm just like everybody else. Why would this work for me? Stop that talking in your head and decide that you deserve this and you don't have to be like everybody else. If you tell other people what your dreams and goals are, they are going to be so proud of you and excited for you when you reach them. If nobody knows what the kind of things that you're thinking about doing, no one's going to care when you take the leap and actually do it. So the biggest fear for me throughout this so far, well, I'll share a couple other ones, but one was leaving my job. That was very scary. I had a comfortable job. There was nothing wrong with it, but I just loved this and I wanted to do it full time. So that was a huge fear for me. And I didn't tell too many people that I was going to do that because I thought, well, if I chicken out, then they're going to know that I chickened out. You need to be accountable to yourself and tell some people that you're going to do something scary. So then when you do it, they're like cheering for you and they're so excited for you. And then you get to celebrate with somebody and know that, okay, I said to somebody that I'm going to do this. And guess what? I did it. So getting the negative talk out of your head is step number one. And then deciding that you're going to take a step forward and do something is the next one. So what kind of things are we talking about? Examples of things that we're fearful of in our business are things like posting your before and after picture and your story on Facebook. Hello, is that not the scariest thing that you've done in quite a while? If you haven't done it yet, it's okay to be scared. It's pretty nerve-wracking. I remember clearly, this ties a bunch of these things in. I was in a diamond boot camp with Christina, and I had not posted my before and after picture yet. And this was a year into my business. And one of the assignments was to write your story and put together your before and after picture. And we had to post it as one of our assignments. And I was like so close to just skipping it and not, because I was petrified to post that picture. And I remember clearly sitting at this desk with my finger on the mouse, like shaking inside and sweating, and I couldn't believe I was going to do it. And I just clicked the mouse. It was out there. And then I just had to leave the room because I couldn't stand to watch what was going to happen. But like 15 minutes later, I went back to look and everybody's, congratulations, you look great. That's so awesome. I want to do what you're doing or whatever. And as you know, if you've done this, it's a great thing. It really launches your business to the next level when you share what these products, programs, whatever has actually done for you. And when you're able to share that and relate it to people, it makes all the difference in the world. And what we don't understand is people are waiting to see things like that because it motivates them and it inspires them. Keeping that to yourself is almost like selfish. So share those things openly and be proud of yourself, because it's hard work and other people are definitely going to be inspired by you sharing your story because they're going to relate to you. Another thing that might be scary for you is joining a business boot camp or an accountability group, kind of like that Diamond boot camp, or I did the Platinum Edge, Platinum Presenters Business Boot Camp with Christine Dwyer. Scary stuff. But things like that, when you commit to do something like that, it really pushes you to set aside your fear, because you're in it for 21 days or 30 days, just like a challenge group. And you're going to see some changes when you commit to a group like that that's going to push you. It will build your confidence. It will help you overcome that fear, and it's just going to grow you in your business. We also might be afraid of inviting people to a challenge group or a sneak peek. And here's the thing, if you don't invite them, they're not going to just flock to you and say, can I join your group? Can I join your group? We need to put ourselves out there and one-on-one invite them to what we want to share with them. And most of the time they're going to say yes. They're just waiting for you to ask them. Another one for me was joining a Team Cup team for the first time. Christina asked me if I was interested in a Team Cup. I didn't even know what Success Club was. It was right when I started. And I happened to be moving that month. And I got on her initial call that was kind of saying, so everybody's going to hit Success Club 5. We're going to invite to this sneak peek group, and we're going to do all these things. And I just totally freaked out and thought, I am going to let her down if I say yes to this, because we're moving this. There's no way I can do all this. And my biggest fear was letting her down. So when somebody asks you to do something like that, that's going to make you a little bit uncomfortable or push you a little bit outside your comfort zone, just say yes. Because they don't expect you to be perfect, and they're not going to be disappointed in you. They just want you to join them, to learn from them. And I wish that I would have done that group. I did say no, and I totally chickened out. But I was brand new in the business at that time, and I just did not want to let her down. Another thing would be leading a team call like this. I've been a coach for 6 years, and I've done a couple of group team calls, but this is my first one by myself, and I'm nervous to do it. But I played my theme song. I'm good. I think it's going all right. And I'm excited. I mean, things like this could be addicting. I think once you get in the groove of what you're doing, you get excited, and you're you, and you're shining, and you're doing it. Another thing that you might think would be very petrifying would be speaking at a live event. And somebody asked me if I would speak at the next Super Saturday, and I was like, what? You want me to share my story at Super Saturday? And she's like, yeah. So I said yes. So I will figure it out, and I will be there, and I'm going to share my story at Super Saturday. And that scares me half to death, but I'm excited too. So we just have to learn to jump in and say yes. I hope that helps. Okay, now let's apply all of that to your business. If you think you're afraid to do all those things, put yourself in your prospect's shoes. They are afraid to join your challenge group. They are afraid to ask for help. So you need to put yourself out there and invite them personally, because they're waiting for you to ask them. If they're afraid, they're not going to comment, I'm in, and raise their hand when you make a big post with a call to action. If they're afraid, they're not going to do that. So they're watching what you're posting and they're watching your groups and they want to do it, but they're probably not going to message you and say, can I join your group? So that's why it's so important to invite one-on-one and send those messages that we think are uncomfortable. But saying, have you ever considered what I do as a coach? Or have you ever considered joining one of my clean eating groups? It's really not that uncomfortable to send that as a message. And especially to someone who really wants to join, but they're nervous about it. So put yourself in the other person's shoes and realize that they are probably just as fearful as you. So let's wrap this up. Fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours. So the things that can help you overcome your fear are having a playlist that pumps you up. Listen to it whenever you need it. Attend live events, whether it's a Super Saturday or Summit or something like Smart Success or Danny Johnson. It'll change your life. It will change your confidence and your belief. And you'll be able to set your fear aside because you're going to believe that you can do it. Personal development is the key to this whole thing when it comes to fear. If you are confident, the fear takes a back seat because you know that you can do this. You know that people want to hear what you have to say. You know that you have a lot to share and that other people need to hear it and that they're going to relate to you. No negative self-talk going on in your head. And find strength in numbers, which to me means find a success partner that you can talk back and forth with. If you're nervous about something, talk it over with your success partner. She'll pump you up and say, I did that this week. You could totally do that. Maybe she'll give you an idea for a message of how to ask a certain person if they want to join your sneak peek. Join a push group. If your coach offers a push to Emerald group or a push to Diamond group or anything like that, join it, because the more people that you're surrounded with that are going through the same thing as you, the more people you have to bounce ideas off of, and you can realize that you're not alone and the other people in your group are just as afraid as you, but you're all going to just do it and you're going to jump in and do it together. So I hope that some of these tips will help you overcome fear in your business and just in your life. If anybody has any questions, you could type them in the chat. But I'm going to stop the recording now and then we can chat after. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it.